Good night, everyone. This video is made as an assignment from my lecture. We will talk about an introduction towards literature. And the task is to make a review on the materials regarding introduction to literature. But first we're going to talk about what the lecturer has explained, so to get a better understanding on what we're going to check today. And also I figure out that rather than I figure things out and explain it to you using this video, I think I would rather to ask you to come with me to look up for things together in this video and trying to understand it together. Okay, for the material we're going to talk about today is first, in terms of form and content, literature is a kind of writing in which the way that something is said matters as much as what is said, or where the way that something is said is part of what is said. I guess we can pretty much understand this. Example, in a novel, two different characters will use two different kinds of ways to express their cynicism. For example, the blunt and fearless character would show their cynicism by saying it bluntly, while the more show-off kind of character, wanting to look more sophisticated, this kind of character might try to express their cynicism by excessively praise the other character. So by excessively emphasizing things in their praise, they are actually trying to say that other than that, there's nothing good about you, like that. So it's actually a cynicism. So the way this character bring out their cynicism is actually how the author trying to make us understand the characteristic of that character. So the important thing is not just the cynicism expressed by the character itself, but also the way they are brought out. And the second is, in terms of imagination and creativity, literature is writing that is not just the reporting of facts, but in which things are created or made up, usually in fact a kind of fiction. So in literary works, even if sometimes a fact is also mixed in it, but in the very core of it, literary works is the creation of the author. So it's up to the author on how the story will go, right? So it's not entirely fact. Some of it, or maybe all of it, is something that the writer, the author, made up for us to read. And the third is subjectivity. Literature is a writing in which things, persons, and events are described from a particular individualistic viewpoint in a way that is different from an objective understanding. So, according to the lecturer, everything in a literary has some kind of arbitrariness. So it doesn't exactly have to be this or that, because it's written in a certain point of view chosen by the author, and also how to understand it depends on the reader. In the fourth, artistry, literature is deliberately artistic writing intended to take its place in an existing literary tradition. According to this definition of literature, it means that texts like news items and academic articles aren't part of literary works. Why? Because the language used in those kind of texts is in such a way that the meaning is as clear as as possible, so that there will be no misunderstanding of the meaning of the facts of the information that is being delivered to the reader. While in here, literature is deliberately artistic writing intended to take its place in existing literary tradition. So, in literary works, the author would consciously use a language which make the people feel the art in it. And the fifth is greatness. Literature as a kind of writing that only a few specially talented people are capable of, but which is relevant and perhaps useful to other people and deserves their admiration. I think we all realize that not everyone is capable of writing something that is good enough for other people to enjoy. So there goes the literature as a kind of writing that only a few specially talented people are capable of. But again, even if not everyone is capable of writing literary works, the literary works made by other people can also be useful for us. And even if it's not, it still deserves our admiration, like if it's entertain us or something, it's also helpful. Next, let's continue to talk about what I had found in the internet. First is this website, study.com. As I see it, this is a website where you can study many kind of things using video and flashcards and representation. There's also quiz in it, and it's for free. So now let's look at this video with the title Literature as a Form of Expression. Let's see.
Admittedly, there is no single
This lesson is made by Millie
definition that encompasses what literature really is. But in general, when it comes to literature, we are dealing with something that has been
according to this video, literature is something that has been very consciously constructed by an author using particular techniques and styles to express themselves. Let's see. Let's try to understand it little by little. Very consciously constructed by an author. I think this goes along with the explanation by my lecturer in this part, subjectivity and imagination and creativity, which means that a literary work is a thing made by an author consciously, and thus it's a fruit of creativity of the author. And then using particular techniques and style to express themselves. And again, the first meaning that is stated by my lecturer that in literature, the way something is conveyed is matter as much as what is the author trying to convey. So of course, the author will choose a particular techniques and style which they think that with they or he or she or think that it will convey what they want to say, what they want to write in the best way, in the right way. And now let's continue the video.
very consciously constructed by an author using particular techniques and styles to express themselves. To better understand this, let's compare a work of popular fiction with a literary classic.
This video is considered Stephanie Meyer's Twilight series,
popular fiction,
and
while Bram Stoker's
Dracula, as it was mentioned before that according to this video, Twilight series is seen as a popular fiction while Dracula is literary works. I think this has to do with this. According to the explanation from my lecturer, the characteristic of a literary works is just a detail. I don't know how to read it. This part. Yeah, I don't know how to read it correctly. Here. Yeah, thanks for Google Translation. You're very helpful. So, the pronunciation should be like this.
Dulce et utile.
Now slower.
Dulce et utile.
Sorry, I still can't pronounce it well. Was it dulce et utile? Well, something like that. According to my lecturer's explanation, is that the characteristic of a literary work is dulce et utile, which means that sweet and helpful or useful. It means that literary works is made in a beautiful language. That is the art inside a literary works, but it's also useful. It's helpful. So there is actually something that is the author trying to convey to us, like maybe a moral lesson or maybe introducing some kind of culture or anything. So it's not just that it's pretty, but there's something inside it too to us, and that is also the reason why the one who made this video says that Twilight series is regarded as popular fiction, while Bram Stoker's Dracula, is regarded as literary works because in Dracula, as she explained, here the author is trying to explain about the mythology of a Dracula, even though he lived in a period, the 19th century, when the mythology about Dracula isn't that famous, and there are many people who doesn't know about a vampire. In comparison to that, Mayer's Twilight series, they don't focus on the explanation about the mythology of a vampire, but instead it focuses on the romance point of view that love can overcome everything, and above that, there are some explanation on the vampire characters there, which is actually goes against the mythology of regarding Dracula and vampire. And in this course, the course name is Case English 520 Practice and Study Guide. And the chapter we are currently in is Elements and Language of Literature. And after the video we just saw about literature as a form of expression, next let's watch literature as a response to culture. Literature as a response to culture. Oh, this time it's not a video. Let's see. Literature is a significant source for cultural commentary. Literature responds to various aspects of culture, both thematically and formally. In other words, literature may challenge or integrate certain attitudes or beliefs through plot, form, and structure. For instance, while realist literature is known for integrating themes at the level of plot, modernist literature is known for conveying ideas through formal innovation. Well, not like I completely understand of what the hell it is they're this explanation about. So let's see in what does it mean. Literature responds to history by using narrative to make sense of events. Modernist literature, for instance, emerged at the beginning of the 20th century in response to the events of World War I. The modernist aesthetic attempts to represent the sense of alienation and confusion that individuals experience in the wake of the First World War. It does so by adapting traditional forms. For instance, modernists rejected chronological plot structure in favor of fragmented forms. For social condition, literature also responds to broader social concerns such as class warfare or social inequity. The realist tradition, fiction that mirrors reality, is particularly known for its response to social evils. Charles Dickens' realist novel, for instance, respond to evils of Victorian society. I see. Literature has also tended to respond to scientific developments. Charles Dickens and Mary Shelley respond to the impact of scientific revolution in their novels, questioning the authority of reason and rationalism. Both Hard Times and Frankenstein, for instance, portray how an emphasis on facts and literal meanings can discourage alternative ways of thinking about and understanding the world. I'm getting more and more confused. Let's look at something different. This is a personal blog of someone which I found. Who's the one who wrote this? I couldn't find who is the writer. Let's read it. The ancient Greek writer Horace believed that the purpose of literature has twofold: to teach a moral lesson, but also to entertain an audience. So there goes the tools to utile, which means sweet and useful. Well, I guess we have talked about this on the video literature as a form of expression, where we talk about the difference between Mayer's Twilight Saga and Baker's Dracula. So let's exit this tab. So what is it again we should talk about? I think it's already everything, maybe. No. This and well, then I guess that's all for today. I think that's all. I need to make another video for another subject, so I think that's all for today. Thank you.